All right, look, before this video even starts, I just want to say I'm a die-hard Call of Duty player. Always have been. I grew up with it. I've played every single Call of Duty since World at War. No matter how much it drives me crazy, it's still my game. It's the main game I play. Just take a look at my channel. It's literally all I play. However, recently I've been dipping my toes into Battlefield 6 like a lot of you guys probably have. And trust me, I get it now. I fully understand why Battlefield fans hate when COD players come over and try to turn their game into Call of Duty Lite or just like Call of Duty. Because that's a real problem in the community, right? A lot of us COD players hop into Battlefield, see these massive maps, tanks rolling by, actual teamwork happening, and instead of adapting, a lot of us try to force into it what we already know. We play it like Call of Duty, and that's exactly why Battlefield fans keep saying go back to COD. But what I've noticed is a lot of Call of Duty players don't get these games were never supposed to be the same thing. Call of Duty is tight, crazy, and personal. Battlefield is wide, deliberate, and strategic. Call of Duty is about individual moments, like dropping 40 kills in TDM or dropping a nuke, and Battlefield's about collectiveness. It's about reviving your teammates under fire, spotting enemies for your squad, dropping ammo, and defending a flag for 5 minutes straight and somehow surviving. They both scratch the shooter itch, sure, but in completely different ways. The problem is when COD players come in expecting Battlefield to be fast, arcade style, and easy to dominate. You can't rush around a map like Shipment when the nearest enemy is 200 meters away and you're in an open field. Battlefield rewards patience and teamwork. COD rewards aggression and reaction time. They're both valid, but trying to make one into the other, and that's how you ruin both. Listen, EA already tried making Battlefield more like Call of Duty with 2042, and just take a look at how that turned out. The movement got faster, specialists started showing up with flashy abilities, gunplay leaned more arcadey, and suddenly Battlefield lost what made it Battlefield. They alienated their own core fans, trying to appeal to players who were never going to stay in the first place. COD players came, played for a week, and said, "Nah," and then went back to COD. Meanwhile, the Battlefield community was left wondering what happened to the teamwork-driven, immersive, large-scale war experience that they loved. That's why DICE and EA cannot chase COD anymore. They've got to build their own people again. The ones who loved the 64-player fights, vehicles everywhere, squads actually communicating, and the slower, more grounded pacing that Call of Duty has never had. Because Battlefield 6 has a real shot at being special if it remembers those core Battlefield players. Now, this is where I gotta call out my own side just a little bit. COD players coming into Battlefield expecting just to dominate are missing the point completely. Battlefield is not about your KD. It's not about dropping streaks. It's about contributing to the war. And yeah, I get it. We COD players are wired differently. We spawn, we sprint, we slide, we shoot, and we respawn. That's the loop that we love. But in Battlefield, that same mentality just makes you a useless teammate. You're supposed to help your squad, drop ammo, revive people, spot enemies, and actually play the objective. If you don't do that, you're not playing Battlefield, you're just running around getting farmed. And that's why Battlefield fans keep telling us to go back to COD, because we show up, ignore the objectives, complain about the pacing, and then leave after a week because it's too slow. That's not a Battlefield problem. That's a you're playing the wrong game kind of problem. COD and Battlefield are like cousins that grew up in the same house but took a totally different path. COD went full-on arcade, flashy camos, 6v6, fast reaction gameplay. Battlefield went a little more tactical, massive maps, teamwork, immersion, and all about the spectacle, even though it's an arcade shooter as well. And that's fine. They're supposed to be different, but we need to stop trying to merge them. If you want to play a game that rewards cracked out aim and fast reaction time, that's Call of Duty. If you want to feel like you're part of a battle with vehicles, suppression, and strategy, play Battlefield. They're both great in their own right, but when COD players come into Battlefield demanding instant action, smaller maps, or faster gameplay, you're literally asking DICE to destroy what makes Battlefield Battlefield. Just let it breathe, let it be slower, let it be frustrating sometimes. That's all a part of the experience. Look, Battlefield 6 has the potential to bring that magic back, to give the FPS scene something fresh again. COD's been doing numbers for so long that most players have forgotten what large-scale war shooters even feel like. But BF6 could change that if EA commits to their roots. No hero shooters, no flashy look at me movement mechanics, no flashy look at me skins, no chasing trends, just Battlefield. Big maps, classes that matter, and gameplay that rewards coordination over reaction time. If they can nail that, which they kind of have already, they'll pull in people like me, longtime COD fans who just want to try something different sometimes. COD's fun, but it's exhausting sometimes, even though I still love it and I still play it more than Battlefield. However, like I said, sometimes you just want a game where you can just breathe sometimes, where your impact comes from teamwork and not your KD. So yeah, as a COD player, I get it now. Battlefield isn't supposed to feel like home. It's supposed to challenge you to make you play differently. And if you can't adapt, maybe Battlefield just isn't for you. Stop trying to change it, stop comparing it, stop asking for slide canceling or instant respawns, and please, for the love of God, stop asking for kill streaks. We have those. They're called your pilots and your helicopter pilots and your tanks, because Battlefield does not need to be the next Call of Duty. It just needs to be Battlefield again, the same way that we're asking for Call of Duty to be Call of Duty again. And I think that's exactly what we've been missing in the FPS scene. Not every FPS needs to be Call of Duty, and I think that's something that a lot of people have forgotten. Like I said, Battlefield isn't made to be this fast arcade 1v1 highlight reel experience. It's slower and more team driven, and that's the point. I keep seeing this everywhere. COD players are jumping into Battlefield and expecting their muscle memory to carry them, but this game does not care about your slide cancel. It's about positioning, map knowledge, and teamwork. You can't solo your way through a match here. You actually need to play with your squad. And that's why Battlefield hits different when you finally understand it. When you drop ammo for a teammate, or revive someone that's under fire, or actually win an objective together, those moments feel amazing. I kind of look at it as like a 50 bomb in Call of Duty, because you earned it. The problem is so many COD players treat Battlefield like another version of Domination or Hardpoint, and they miss what makes it special. You're supposed to live in the map, not just sprint through it. That's why Battlefield 6 could be huge if it leans into what makes it Battlefield to begin with. I'm saying this as a COD player myself. Battlefield 6 does not need to meet us halfway. We need to learn how to meet them. If you come into Battlefield expecting the same experience as COD, like I said, you've already missed the point. It already flew by your head and you totally are oblivious to any life. That's why I've been loving it lately. It reminds me of when these two shooters used to feel different, when every franchise had its own personality instead of all blending together. Battlefield feels like a throwback. Not because it's old school, but because it's confident in what it is. So yeah, this is just a message to other Call of Duty players like myself. Stop going into Battlefield expecting it to be like COD. Stop asking for stupid things that do not need to be in Battlefield. Stop asking for things that even if it remotely makes it more like Call of Duty, don't ask for it. Let the Battlefield people handle what they want in their game, and we'll just be along for the ride and play the game that they choose to create as the years go on with this game. Look, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'm sure this video was kind of short. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.